and I was like, ooh, maybe I should camp here. But one, there's a policeman right there, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm about to chat with the cop, so let's see what's going on. Hey everybody, as you may or may not be aware, my name is Isaiah and I've been walking across the country for just over 10 months now. We're hitting almost 5,000 miles. I've been diligently documenting the whole thing to put it on YouTube as a YouTube series that will cover the entire trip. The YouTube series is quite a bit behind present day, so you're about to watch day 76. I hope you enjoy it, and as always, whether you've been here before or this is your first time,
welcome to Walk America.
Perfect. Alright, I'm happy with that. Day 76, July 27th, 2021, began in a sunny, humid world made fresh by the evening rains, just outside the small community of Nealton on Highway 101 on Washington State's Olympic Peninsula. I'm about to enter the Queets Reservation, where I'll be walking for the next few days. 11:13 a.m. rained last night. So, I'm trying to get everything dry in the sun before getting out, because it is no fun to pack a bunch of wet things in your cart. Finish packing up the tent and get on the road. I would just like to say thank you to my sister. This is a road that my current cart can handle. My previous cart absolutely would not have been able to. Also, look at that tree root system. After drying things out in the sun and brushing my teeth, I walk back down the gravel road to rejoin Route 101. Rainforests in the US? Cool. The heavy rains and subsequent sunshine seem to have done powerful things to the colors of the world. The blue of the water, the deep greens of the trees, and the yellow of the sun and the mosses. The buildings here have seen so much. The forest is so vast. I want to see it all, but it's impossible. I'll have to be content with the feeling of awe that it inspires and be grateful for that powerful emotion. Walking through this landscape really does make you feel like you're in another world, or maybe have gone back in time, something straight out of Avatar or the forested planets of Star Wars. Somewhere where it seems nature is still firmly in charge, and where there are still lots of secrets. The scale of it all is imposing and full of mystery. What secrets lie buried in these woods? Those roads that you can only see the first few yards of. What are the stories behind them? How do places with these vivid colors and seemingly endless trees exist in the same country or even the same state as the concrete jungles and bland strip malls we flock to? And why don't we choose to spend more time in the wild parts of the world? Is air conditioning and dry cleaning really that tempting? As imposing as the scope of the wilderness is, you can also see man's continual effort to tame it. You can see the evidence of sustainable logging practices. The swaths with roads running in between are cut and replanted, and taken care of until they are sufficiently mature to be harvested again. I suppose it's like any other crop really, except the cycles are measured in decades. If you look closely at satellite views of the wooded parts of our countries, you can see this cycle dominates countless square miles of this part of the country. The movements of entire industries are impressive, yet also feels impossibly small. It's so easy to forget the scale of our world. For all of the grandeur that this walk inspires, there's also the minutiae of living that demands my attention as I walk. I got to a place called Amanda Park, I think is what it is, and it has a few restaurants. Thank you to Dino's pizza grill and restaurant for some cooked food, because even I can only handle so many Rice Krispie treats. And I can handle a lot of Rice Krispie treats. Also, they let me fill my water bottles, which is just so nice of them. Thank you! Come again! I, and probably my mother, would like to thank Ivy for giving me bananas, because you probably need something besides just Rice Krispie treats. Additionally, there's the reminder that not only is the nature inspiring, but the greatest treasure of the world is arguably its people. That right there, that Dodge, that red Dodge, is owned by a good group of fellows. We got Danielle, who was driving. We got May. We got Belle, Gavin, and Howard. Happy birthday, Howard! For his birthday, he wanted a picture with me. So they turned around. I remember them waving when they passed by very enthusiastically. And they came and got a picture. And they gave me an almost full box of my favorite treat. Gosh dang it, America. Stop making me tear up with your good people. Good people. Golden hour is my favorite part of every day, yet it also signals the end. Since I wake up every day, never knowing what I'll see, how much time I'll spend taking in my surroundings, I also never know where I'm going to sleep. So it's time for another round of which ditch is best. Although this ditch has red and blue lights that would likely make sleeping difficult. It's 8:09 p.m. 8:09. So, I took a glance at Google to see what the camping situation is looking like, because it's getting to be about that time. I happened to notice just down this tiny side road, here's my cart, there's this big patch of open space, basically. It almost looks like they just source rock here or something. And I was like, ooh, maybe I should camp here. But one, there's a policeman right there, so I'm not gonna do that. And two, there's like a bunch of these right down the road, so I'm gonna see what's up. Also, about to chat with the cop, so let's see what's going on. I found that police can often give you the real lowdown and are willing to play ball with you once they realize you don't have any sinister intentions and you're just a baby-faced lost boy. Another positive interaction with the law enforcement officers of our country. Officer Taylor. Just checking in, seeing what was going on. Wanted to know the story of what I'm doing, which is understandable. And then just to sort of familiarize me with the area around here, what people care about, and who might get ruffled feathers about me being somewhere. Most of them, almost everybody is like, hey, here's the situation, here's the technicalities, and here's what really matters. Because after 10 seconds of talking to me, they can tell I'm not some weirdo trying out to get out here and take advantage of people's property and stuff like that. Obviously, I stick out a bit. I'm not, with my neon green signs, I'm not trying to be all stealth mode. So they're not usually too worried. And they tell me the real lowdown. Thank you, officers! Honestly, I still feel so lucky to be doing what I'm doing. After spending so much time reading about courageous characters who are always off exploring some part of the world, or living lives so rich in color and sensory input, I finally feel like I've taken the leap from observer to doer. Like I've left the library and landed in the setting of the pages of the book in my lap. It's very Magic Treehouse-esque. And now that I've been out here, the only thing I can feel is that there's no way I can go back. There's too much to see, too much to realize, and too much to lose myself in. That evening, I wrote in my journal, I've been thinking a lot about who I am and who I want to be. I think it comes down to having the courage to live honestly and being motivated by the true impact I want to have, as well as the relationships I want to have and to cultivate. Honestly, I think that might be the most important thing of all, who I become because of this trip, and the other things I decide to do with my life because I've realized that that's my decision and I have the power to make them happen. I've spent the day walking through the Queets Reservation. At this point, I'm just a few miles shy of the census-designated place of Queets, a community populated nearly entirely by the members of the Quinault tribe, the majority of whose members reside in nearby Taola. I didn't get to see much of that town since it was off my route, and I wasn't able to get much of a view of it from Google Satellite since the day they took the pictures, one of the houses happened to be on fire and was covering the area with smoke. Additionally, much of the wilderness nearby is difficult to access since Highway 109's planned connection with 101 was halted and left unfinished in the 1960s. The local beaches are only available to members of the tribe. Finally, the time comes and I find the nicest ditch that I can. So it's about that time of day, 8:30, a little earlier than normal, but found a decent spot, I think. First of all, pretty. Second of all, so you can see this is a road right off the freeway, at least it kind of used to be a road. Something tells me people aren't driving down it that often, given the level of overgrowth right here. I mean, right in the middle of what was formerly utilized to some degree. You can see though, it doesn't look like it is that much. However, because it's a former road, it clears up a little bit past that initial level of growth. It's kind of solid packed, so I can get my cart back here, and then it opens up into a nice little clearing where I can set up my tent, but I'm out of the way of prying eyes. Traffic noise will be reduced back here because the road's yonder. People won't see me as they drive past. It's flat, big enough to put up a tent. Win, win, win. I've been walking across the country in a very meandering path that'll eventually take me from the westernmost coast. Dang it, that was good. Editing reasons means that the video series is often quite far behind present day, and by often I mean always. So you're about to watch day 76.